Take the next speaker now. Hold on for a moment. Hold on just for a moment. You can't, there's no dialogue between the audience and the chair. Hold on for a moment. Let me just make it clear. The rules of the road are as follows. When there's translation, the translator gets the same amount of time to translate whoever the person is speaking, irrespective of the language. All right? Those are the rules, and that's why it's done that way. Pardon me for a moment. This is not a dialogue, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a dialogue. We're just simply trying to run the meeting as fairly as possible. On both sides, just check yourselves, okay? Now, both of you all... Oh, no. Well, Mr. Sir, escort him out. Whoever he is, escort him out now. Now, let me just make it clear. We're trying to be as lenient on both sides of this as possible. No. Hold on a moment. We're not going to have dialogue between the chair and the audience. No. We're going to ask the persons out here. Where are you? Who's speaking right now? Why don't you get up and leave? No. Well, then be quiet. No, wait a minute. You all don't understand. I'm trying to cause everybody to understand that you will be heard and you will be respected. Now, let me just suggest this. Why don't you try respecting each other and everything will be fine? All right? That's the deal. Everybody's going to respect each other and we're going to proceed. Otherwise, you won't be afforded the opportunity to speak because the board will. May I tell you what's going to happen? I've said repeatedly, disruption won't be permitted. I'm trying to keep the meeting going forward. If it continues, we will adjourn into executive session and there will be no more opportunity to speak. This is the last time that I will say it, all right? There are persons here before me who have the opportunity to be heard, and now the floor is theirs. Please proceed.
All right. Good afternoon. I want to thank the supervisors for the opportunity to speak. My name is Anthony Duarte. I'm a school board member for the Hacienda La Puente Unified School District, and I'm here today on behalf of the thousands of undocumented students and their families in Hacienda La Puente schools. As the LACO representative stated, there has been an increase in anxiety in our schools. After the November elections, we have undocumented high school students who are uncertain of their futures under the incoming administration. We have elementary students who are afraid that when they get home from school, mom or dad might not be there. These are daily realities for many of our students, and Supervisor Hahn said it best: students who come to school in fear cannot learn. We are doing everything we can in our school district to protect all students. Earlier this year, we created the Office of Equity and Access to help our undocumented students, our foster care students, and our homeless students with additional resources to make sure they receive a high-quality education. And I am encouraged to see that the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors are taking steps to protect all students and their families as well. I urge the supervisors to approve this motion. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony.
First of all, this is also the issue of ICE collaborating with the Sheriff's Department is also an issue of economics. Los Angeles already runs the largest system of jails in the world, the largest system in the United States. Every time that a sheriff collaborates with ICE, we're using our tax dollars to bankroll Obama and Trump's deportation machine. We need to stop subsidizing the Trump deportation machine. And as long as ICE continues to collaborate with the Sheriff's Department and the LAPD, we will continue, and the immigrant community, to not talk to the police and not talk to the sheriffs and not try to interact with them at all. The cost of this collaboration is huge, and it must be stopped. I also urge you to support the Justice Fund and deepen it. Make it for people who are in detention and who are in deportation proceedings, and to support the California Values Act. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, supervisors. My name is Emmy McLean. I'm a lawyer with the National Day Laborer Organizing Network, and I'm also part of a coalition of over 30 groups that have provided recommendations to the CEO and the Board of Supervisors. I'd like to express my support for this motion and call for the board and the sheriff to do much more to protect immigrants in the county. There are times when every individual needs to decide what side they are on. If there ever were a time, now is such a time. President-elect Trump has built a campaign from day one on hatred, fear, and racism. And if anyone mistakenly believes that Trump's statements are empty rhetoric, he's named people to cabinet positions in his inner circle who are waiting for just the opportunity that Trump has presented them on his golden platter. They have plans to act from day one. The county should as well. I urge, and as part of this broad coalition, we urge the Board of Supervisors to support the efforts of the state of California, including through endorsing the California Values Act, to protect information in county databases from being used for immigration enforcement, to protect the individuals as well as county officials, and to make sure there's a clear dividing line so that the county is not complicit in Trump's deportation machine. The county needs to decide what side we are on. Thank you.
And thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Edna Monroy with CJA, California Immigrant Youth Justice Alliance in outside of LA. I'm also an undocumented immigrant from District 2. I grew up in South Central LA. And I'm here to ask the Board of Supervisors, how is this time different from the time when we had 287G agreements, when we had ICE agents running the jails, when they were just doing whatever they wanted? Under the Obama administration, we saw that over 2 million deportations happened. And now, as we await for this Trump administration to take over, we are surprised, right, that deportations are going to happen when they have already been happening. So the question is, what are the immediate steps that LA County will be taking to ensure that whatever steps are taken are significant, are meaningful, that we do not allow ICE in the jails, that we kick ICE out of LA, and that we ensure that there's due process for everyone, regardless of immigration status, regardless of religion or sexual orientation. Thank you.
All right. Next speaker, please.
Hi. Good afternoon. My name is Claudia Bautista with the National Day Labor Organizing Network, the outside of LA, and the outside of California coalitions. And I'm also a constituent of Margaret Lee Thomas. First, I wish that Sheriff McDonald was still here. I want to start my statement by reminding folks that the deportation pipeline begins with the racist policing of communities of color. It is sad that some folks are here uneducated about the issue that we're actually here to discuss, and they use their ignorance about the issue to simply spew hatred, just like Donald Trump. What we are asking is for due process for all, because deportation is not just a second punishment for people who already have done their time, but it's also cruel and unusual punishment. In regards to the collusion between ICE and LASD, we don't trust ICE and we don't trust McDonald either. In yesterday's op-ed, he talked about all the time that they have been trying to build community trust. What have they done? They continue to kill people of color, and they continue to collaborate with ICE. So we want ICE out of LA. We want it now.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Dolly Cordelia Jiménez de Blódica. Soy de Honduras, Centroamérica, y ciudadana de Estados Unidos.
Good afternoon. My name is Dolly Cordelia Jiménez. I am a citizen of America. I'm an American citizen and from Honduras.
Okay, siento mucho tener que decirle a estas personas que están que están de acuerdo con las ciudades santuarias. Yo no estoy de acuerdo, lo siento mucho, pero no puedo, porque mis hijos son de aquí, mis nietos son de aquí, necesitan colegios y instituciones para que puedan estudiar gratis y no tengan que pagar.
I do not agree with sanctuary cities. I have nephews, I have children that need funds to attend school and facilities.
Además que en este país hay welfare, que tengo entendido que las personas que no son ciudadanos ni residentes de este país están recibiéndolo, hospitales que también los atienden.
I believe that this county provides welfare, and you do not need to be an American citizen to receive that, and they are receiving those services.
No entiendo también por qué ustedes no principiaron estas ciudades santuarias antes, cuando el señor presidente Obama, que fue el primero en deportar, separar familias, destruir negocios.
I don't understand why you didn't begin this sanctuary cities process President Obama is the first president to split families and deport people, deport most people.
Sí. ¿Por qué lo están haciendo ahora? Ustedes están simplemente en contra también de los propósitos que tiene el señor presidente Donald Trump.
Why are you doing now? You are just against President-elect Donald Trump's agenda.
Yo he tenido amistades que tuvieron que salir del país, sus hijos quedaron allí ambulantes, me pidieron ayuda, le pidieron ayuda a mis hijos.
I have had friends that have been deported and families have been split. The children remain being street vendors. And they've asked for help.
Incluyendo Benghazi.
Including Benghazi.
Thank you.
Uno de los países.
Thank you for your testimony. We'll take the next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Lloyd Alvarado. I'm with the National Day Labor Organizing Network. I'm the National Safety and Health Project Coordinator, and I come speaking on behalf of workers. I thank you, Hilda Solis, for your leadership, and I urge you, all of you, to really consider passing item number 14. I will not say everything that everybody else has said because I think that you have heard it, but it is essential, and I speak as a formerly undocumented person. The fear that we face every single day at the workplace, the fear that we face every single day going to school, going out on the streets is real. And I have seen that fear. And having police and ICE collaborate, I beg your pardon, having police and the Sheriff's Department collaborate with ICE is just wrong. This country is made of immigrants. This country, the heart of this country beats because of immigrants. And I just want to tell you that you really need to pass this, and I appreciate your time and effort.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Madam Executive Officer, next.
Excuse me, before you start speaking, would the following individuals please come forward? Cesar Nije, Daisy Chavez, Daniel Sanchez, Fran Saraceres, Francisco Garcia, George Franco, Glenford Felix, Gregory Pleasance, Guillermo Torres, Isaac Saul, Janet Favela, Janice Montgomery, Jasmina Zavedra, J.B. Shadru, Judy London, Martin Garcia, Meath Soni, Meredith Graham. As you hear your name, please make your way forward. Michael Soto, Michael Haggerty, Monique Uriati, Nesita Udarbe. Please come forward. Go ahead, next speaker.
Hello, my name is George Franklin from Huntington Park. It's a shame that we have to come up here to attend one of these meetings up here. Usually we handle all of this in Huntington Park with our corrupt city council that we have. And,
all right, I think we are really at the point of deteriorating. So, sergeants, let me tell you what we need to do. I think we've had more than enough. So this is disruption for the last time. And so I'm going to ask that the chamber be emptied. We're going to go in executive session at this point. Madam Executive Officer, please read us in.
Wow. So close yet so far.
Leave.
In accordance with Brown Act rules, the board is now recessing into closed session to convene to speak item number CS1, conference with legal counsel regarding significant exposure to litigation. One case.
Mr. Chairman, would the following individuals please come to the front? Laura Blum-Smith, Rosemarie Molina, Marvin Vargas, Joanne Leslie, Robin Vitston, Rue Guyant, Anna Garia, Suzette Shaw, Maria Mello, Rocio Velis, Eric Previn, and Gary Galeno. Please come forward.
All right, those who are here, you have the opportunity to be heard. Proceed.
Thank you. My name is Carlos Amador with the California Immigrant Policy Center, also part of the coalition, ICE out of LA coalition. I ask the county to please protect all residents regardless of status and also regardless of their history with the criminal justice system. The LA County Sheriff's Department came to testify, and they expressed that they don't provide affirmative list of immigrants that are going to be released to ICE, but on the report that is dated today that was submitted to you all actually has a flow chart that explicitly says that they provide a 7-day notice on the immigrants that are going to be released to ICE. They also try to misguide you and us by saying that they only release people to ICE, quote unquote, just like any other law enforcement that submits a warrant. But the reality is that most immigrants that come, that are transferred to ICE, are not through warrant. I ask you to please end all collaboration with ICE, and I ask you to also support a fully inclusive implementation of the LA Justice Fund. To finalize, the UCLA Law School put together a report on the Human Rights Clinic, on the ICE collaboration and shares. I'll pass it on to the clerk.
Thank you. Next speaker.
My name is Chanel Temple. I'm an activist from the Black community. I'm here with several groups, We the People Rising, Urban Game Changers, and Blacks for Equal Rights. I want to say that I oppose what the Board of Supervisors is doing, how you're using taxpayers' money to sit up there and assist criminals who, first of all, cross that border illegally. In my neighborhood, if someone does something wrong, we get 3 strikes. So why are they being treated special? I don't understand. Also, this poster right here, I have permission to bring it in. We are being terrorized in the Black community. We are being terrorized. A 4-year-old boy was shot getting out of the car from grocery. His mother was shot 7 times by Latinos who are attacking Blacks and illegal immigrants. This is unfair. Did you start a task force to help Blacks that have been attacked by illegal immigrants? Jamil Shaw, Cheryl Green, in the county of LA, did you start a task force to help American citizens, Black American citizens? Did you start one?
All right, thank you for your testimony. All right, next speaker, please. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Talia Inlander. I'm a senior staff attorney at Public Counsel, and I manage our office's immigration detention work. I'm here to speak in support of this motion and to encourage you to go farther. These extraordinary times require us to reaffirm our commitment to the basic principles on which our country was founded, including due process, fairness for everyone. We don't pick and choose who gets a fair hearing in our courts. Everyone deserves fairness, especially when the stakes, separation from family, from jobs, and potential deportation to violence are so high. But if you walk down the road, and I encourage you to do this, and observe the immigration hearings that go on in our detained dockets in Los Angeles, you will see that's not the case. There's an immigration judge, a government prosecutor, and then there's an immigrant alone, oftentimes appearing only by video to try to defend themselves from separation from their families. There can be no fairness in a lopsided, imbalanced system, and if Trump has his way, more of our community members will face such hearings. San Francisco and New York have already acted, and I urge you to do the same.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
I'm Archdeacon Joanne Leslie with the Episcopal Diocese of Los Angeles, which I'm proud to say voted recently to be a sanctuary diocese in this region. I also, as it happens, am an immigrant. My parents brought me to this country when I was 3 years old. I'm here to speak in support of this motion, and in particular to urge you to take as strong action as you can to support and contribute to legal defense for all immigrants. I've had the opportunity to see how a well-prepared lawyer can make an effective asylum case, and I am worried about all of the people who are not able to get legal representation, who have asylum cases that could be heard or other protection from deportation that they could benefit from having legal representation. Thank you.
We thank you, and we'll take the next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Ana Garcia. I'd like to thank the board for putting forward this motion. I am a DACA recipient residing in the 1st District, and as someone who has been directly told by the LA Regional Director for ICE that he wishes he could deport me for having DACA, I can tell you that ICE is not an agency that can be trusted. In the light of the new administration, ICE presents an even bigger danger to our communities. I welcome this new task force, and I urge you to go further and use it to implement departmental protections for immigrant communities, but to also meet this new threat with equal force by safeguarding the personal information of our county residents, by creating an oversight mechanism to monitor and respond threats from ICE, by providing legal representation to all who are detained, and by making sure that all collaboration between the Sheriff's Department and ICE ceases to exist. This collaboration severely undermines any other action we might put forth for the protection of our community. I look forward to further collaborating with you. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. We'll take the next speaker.
Hello. My name is Maria Mello. I am a policy manager at the Los Angeles LGBT Center. We are proud to provide a range of services to LGBT undocumented immigrants, which includes housing for homeless LGBT youth and seniors, legal services, HIV medication, mental health services, and economic empowerment training. We are here because we support the creation of an Office of Immigration Services and a legal aid fund. We stand with LGBT and all undocumented immigrants today because it's right, it reflects our belief in equality and our mission to protect human rights. As such, we would also like to remind all people here that LGBT and HIV-positive immigrants face returning to countries where they experience violence, abuse, torture, and persecution because of their sexual orientation, gender identity, or HIV status. As a policy professional and an immigrant myself who is a hardworking mother and LGBT community member here in Los Angeles, I would like to say that I'm proud of the initiatives that are being taken to create an Office of Immigration Services, and that I also urge you to take this a step further. I think we should defend a due process for all, universal representation, and I strongly urge the Board of Supervisors to not leave anyone behind.
All right, thank you for your testimony. We'll take the next speaker, ma'am.
Yes, I am with the Remembrance Project. We honor American citizens killed by illegals. I would like to talk about the killing that occurred in this sanctuary county last June. 5 Americans died in a building that a fire was sent by a man illegally in the country who had a history of drug possession, domestic violence. He'd kicked a woman 10 times in the face and was allowed to stay in this country. DeAndre Mitchell lost his life. He's the father of this beautiful daughter. His mother has to celebrate his birthday at his grave. Tiara Stansberry, age 18, she was killed. Her family had to spend Christmas at her grave. They put a Christmas tree there and honored her at her grave. 5 Americans died in this sanctuary county, permanently separated from their families through no fault of their own. Sanctuary counties and cities are dangerous. We voted for Donald Trump to enforce the law and protect citizens.
All right, thank you for your testimony. Hands up. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Greg Abrahamian. Have you ever heard of John Calhoun and the nullification crisis of 1832? If you haven't, I suggest you brush up on it. John Calhoun was a vice president and senator from South Carolina that promoted the doctrine of nullification, which unsuccessfully argued that states have the right to nullify federal laws that they disagree with. The Southern Confederacy later adopted and championed that very doctrine. Sanctuary law's rich use of obstruction and non-cooperation and non-enforcement is just a new form of John Calhoun's doctrine. If you attempt to defend sanctuary laws, you will be adopting John Calhoun's argument and be thrusting Americans into a new crisis. Perhaps it will be called the nullification crisis of 2017. This doctrine failed in 1832. It failed in 1865, and by God, it's going to fail again. And I have to tell you, it is amazing to see the Democrat politicians here gathered here adopting the Confederate cause and the Confederate argument, because that's exactly what you're doing. Hilda Solis, Are you ready to become a new Confederate leader? Mark Ridley Thomas, are you now going to become a Confederate sympathizer? Janice Hahn, should we pin the Confederate flag on your lapel? Sheila Cole, are you listening to what we're saying, or am I just here whistling Dixie? Catherine Barger, are you going to abandon the cause of Lincoln? Lincoln fought against state and local governments nullifying and obstructing federal laws. If you defend sanctuary law, you will become new Confederate leaders. And if you want to resurrect that flag, it will be pinned on you. Federal law trumps state law and local law. Stop obstructing federal laws. No taxpayer-paid legal defense for illegal aliens. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Next speaker, please. Hold on for a moment. Hold on. Let's proceed. Sir.
My name is Gary Galino. I'm a resident of L.A. County. We hear all this stuff about fairness and equality and equal rights, and that's not what this is about. This is about special rights for one group over another. What's this business of the taxpayers are going to pay for the legal defense of people who come into this country illegally? If I go out there right now and I get arrested for committing some crime, the taxpayers are not going to pay for a really good lawyer to keep me out of jail. I'll have to get some public defender who's going to cut a deal with the prosecutor so I go to jail anyway. California is becoming an apartheid society. In my city, West Covina, because of the CVRA law, we had to reconfigure our entire city government because there's no Latinos on the city council. I don't care what the color of my city council members are, but they should not be forcing us to take certain people on our council because of the color of our skin. That's what all this is about. Thank you.
All right. We'll take the next speaker, please.
My name is Eric Previn. I'm from the 3rd District, and I am running for the mayor of Los Angeles. And I am concerned because I think that the immigrant population is not being served by this process. I am concerned that the Board of Supervisors and the mayor, by dipping public money into a cause that I think is important, I think people deserve representation, but there are loads of private donors who could have set this up. And by opportunistically kind of putting yourself into this role where I feel that immigrants who may or may not be legal are being targeted by these groups who are furious that the public money might be deployed in this way, and it shouldn't be. I mean, when you have a public meeting, it has to be open, and everybody needs to participate. We should have debates. I don't know where Celeste went on her big day. She said something about debates and how important that was. You could see my City Watch today, citywatchla.com, about how we need debates in the mayoral race and other places. But this is nonsense. The Mayor Garcetti and the folks here ought to defend Angelenos of all styles and types, and the people in CD7 who don't have representation are being perniciously attacked with liens on their property every single day. $20,000
Thank you for your
today.
testimony. Madam Executive Officer, next speaker, please.
Would the following individuals please come forward? Dr. Genevieve Claverell, Gary Galino, Zacharias, Deanne Deline, Raul Rodriguez Jr., Lindsay Tozlowski, Hector Negretti, Grace Dyerness, Alberta Monroy, Janet West, Marcerella Hernandez, Leandro Garcia, Tammy Terusa, Garrett Schneider, Sandra Ocampo, Lee Shipman, and Rebea Sin.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Board of Supervisors. My name is Lindsay Tozlowski. I'm the Executive Director of the Immigrant Defenders Law Center. We're one of the largest providers of deportation defense in the County of Los Angeles. We specialize in both unaccompanied children as well as mentally incompetent adults, and we represent lots of people who are in immigration detention. I'm here today to support this motion and also to ask the Board of Supervisors to dig a little bit deeper on the LA Justice Fund. We really need to make sure that the LA Justice Fund goes and helps everyone, particularly the most vulnerable. And what I'd like to do is invite the Board of Supervisors, if you have time, to come with one of the nonprofit organizations here today to go up to the Adelanto Detention Facility and visit those who are detained. I think you'll be surprised to find unaccompanied children who just recently turned 18. You'll find asylum seekers. You'll find moms, brothers, sisters, small business owners, legal permanent residents, veterans. We need to make sure that all of those are included with the LA Justice Fund. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Next, please.
Hello, my name is Zachariah Sable. Thank you for having me here. I'm here to oppose illegal immigration. I'm here with Make California Great Again. I want to mention one person that was killed by an illegal immigrant, Dominic Daniel Durden, 30 years old, son, friend, Sheriff's Department, 911 dispatcher, killed by Juan Zacarias Lopez Zun, age 32, a Guatemalan illegal alien living in California has been arrested for causing the death of Riverside County Sheriff's Department dispatcher Dominic Durden, 30, on July 12, 2012. Police believe Zun, who was driving a Chevy pickup truck, turned in front of the victim's motorcycle, causing a crash in which Durden died from his injuries. Soon has reportedly pled not guilty to the charges of vehicle manslaughter without gross neglect and driving without a license. News reports point out that Zun has a history of prior arrests, including a conviction for DUI, a pending DUI case, and a 2009 grand theft arrest. So, do you guys care about his death?
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Next, please.
Hello, my name is Deandeline, old stage mom Sheila. My family came here from Sweden right after the Civil War, and we have split up 4 different times, the family members. That is not new in this country, families being split up. My father's father passed away when he was only 16. He had to split up his family, take over the job, and support his family. During the Second World War, my father had to go out to the Second World War. Our family was split up. Many families split up all during that time. That's nothing new. I cannot feel sorry for illegal aliens who cry because their families are being split up. My family is now splitting up. My cousins are moving to other states because of this. I have one cousin left in this state. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Okay, I'd like to start by saying there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Donald J. Trump. He is going to enforce federal law. So you 5, where's the 5th one? Is he gone? Anyway, you folks are going to be losing federal money.
Okay.
Can you stop my time?
That's enough.
Can you stop my time?
Okay.
Can you stop my time?
Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue this hearing with you or without you. Now, if it's without you, it'll be a lot quieter for me, and I'll be happy. However, I'm happy to have you attend as well. Whether people are saying things you like or you don't like, I'd like you to listen and not try to drown them out, in the same way as you would like to speak and not be drowned out. Madam Executive Officer, please restore the time to this gentleman. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I'd like to say that we contacted Sheriff McDonald by email, and he has not returned a reply to my email from 3 weeks ago. We wanted to have input into this, what's going on here with the city of Los Angeles. We do not want sanctuary cities or counties. We want American citizens to be first over illegals. They should be getting nothing at all. They don't deserve any. They don't deserve any benefits whatsoever. Also, I'd like to say that they are illegals, aliens. They don't belong here. If they want to become legal citizens, get in line and become legal citizens so that we can have tranquility.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please. And would the two people who've already spoken please vacate their seats so the next speakers can come? Thank you.
Hi, yes, my name is Marcela Hernandez. I'm with the Immigrant Youth Coalition and the ISAT of LA Coalition. And I think, like Shayla Q, you asked the sheriffs, right, what is it that you're doing in your jails? And we heard from them that ICE has open access to our jails right now. And knowing that Trump has said that he wants to deport 3 million people in his first 100 days, I do want to push this board to really do something right now before the 20th, before 60 days, to really protect our communities. Because if Obama deported 3 million in his 8 years, more than any other president, what can we expect from Trump and his administration? So I do want to push you to really urge the sheriffs to get ICE out of the jails, to really not allow their budget to continue in this deportation machine and continue Trump's deportations, and that we invest some of that more in restorative justice, because that's what we need. Also, no to the Muslim registry and due process for all for people in detention.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please.
Before the next speaker, I'd like to ask the following individuals to come forward. Amelia Gray, Victor Naro, Gilbert Saucedo, Robert Lawton, Niquise Tolliver, Alana Holt, Shiming Cheer, Mario Fuentes, Jasmine Diego, Anthony Ng, Sandra Diaz, and Irma Delgado.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Dr. Genevieve Claverol. I am concerned with the lack of civility. I guess 2017 is not going to bring us any more of that either. But what I'm seeing today, you have people who are willing to voice their opinion. They should have the right to do it, and they should not be interrupted by other people. In France, we have a say, your freedom stops when you interfere with my freedom. And I think today, my freedom got very much intercepted by obnoxious people who do not respect other people. But for you, Supervisor, next time when you said, I'm going to kick you out, kick them out. It's like the parents who always said to his kid, well, if you do that, I'm going to punish you, but they never punish. And we have, lousy youth around because of that. We're having the same year today. Nothing is accomplished with you have that kind of behavior. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
I am Tammy Terusa. I'm with Californians for Trump and San Fernando Valley for Trump. And I'm here to tell you that California is under siege. And as of January 20th, we are going to ask Donald J. Trump to intervene into California's affairs. This is going to be ground zero to end sanctuary cities in the counties, the universities, and states. As an American, I am extremely worried about my children, my grandchildren, the future of America, and in particular California. It has become a petri dish for globalists' agenda, okay? The Board of Supervisors, you are on the wrong path to hunker down in defiance of the President-elect attempt to enforce our current laws. This stands in stark contrast to the job you were hired to do, and it is questionable at the least, okay? So I'm asking that the Board of Supervisors to stop and listen to those here today, not just one side, but both sides, because there seems to be a bias here. Is that all my time? All right, well, make America great again.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please.
Hi, my name is Rabia Sen with Esperanza Community Housing Corporation, where we work with communities who fight for social justice on a daily basis in spite of institutional racism that daily silences their voices and uses policing to block access to things such as healthcare, equitable development, affordable housing, jobs, and health. Since the elections, these threats have only intensified, whether we talk about Trump's deportation force or a Muslim registry. Therefore, we support and thank you for this motion, and we ask you for more. 1, please support the California Values Act. 2, the sheriff should not be collaborating with Trump's deportation machine. Please do not use county funds and share information with ICE to help tear families apart, to deport LA residents and create an unconstitutional Muslim registry.
we also must have universal representation. Standing up against racism, misogyny, and xenophobia is never a partisan issue. This is basically an issue of justice, dignity, and humanity. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please. Anybody?
I think it's me.
Okay.
I noticed that my name is Janet West. I live in Long Beach. I noticed that Supervisor Solis presented an award to Ricardo Herrera. I respectfully request her to an award a presentation to Maria Espinoza and Robin Vidston from the Remembrance Project, who work tirelessly to represent and support families who've lost loved ones killed by illegal aliens. The only way those families can visit their loved ones at the holidays is to visit their gravesite. Now, I call that a separated family and separated for always. I proudly wear the shirt which represents DeAndre Mitchell, who was one of 5 Americans killed in a fire in Los Angeles County set by an illegal alien.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Amelia Gray. I live in Atwater Village, and I'm a member of Community Coalition. I would like to thank Supervisor Solis and the other supervisors for their time and effort tonight. I am not a legal expert, but as a community member, I'm concerned by the potential designation Supervisor Kuhl has mentioned of serious crimes and allowing for ICE interference in our prisons. Blanket concepts like this threaten the bright line which should be painted between federal immigration enforcement and local law enforcement. Affiliative crimes such as participation in street gangs, for example, allow for thousands of loopholes that hardworking people will fall through. If L.A. County does not stand on this, we will all find ourselves standing on the wrong side of history. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Nong. I'm with Asian Americans Advancing Justice Los Angeles. As an immigrant and a LA County resident, I applaud the efforts of Supervisor Solis in ensuring that all immigrants are protected. We know that when we welcome immigrants of all walks of life, we thrive as a county and a city. We need to make sure that all immigrants are protected and have due process for all, ensuring that the county funds are able to be given to folks, legal representations for folks who are the most vulnerable, folks who are in deportation and detention. I encourage this board to be in support of the California Values Act, as well as calling on the sheriff to really disentangle ICE from ICE and LASD by ensuring that there's no ICE access to jails. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Next speaker, please.
Robert Loughton from the Remembrance Project. Los Angeles County cannot afford to lose federal and state funds. You're going to need them for one of your major constituencies, the CalPERS Public Employees Retirement System. Last year, the fund gained 0.61%. That's 0.61% a return on their investment. That they need 7.5 return in order to have their system solvent. And the only people that are ICE is interested in is illegal aliens that have been deported a number of times, and those that commit a serious crime. And so you're going to need that $80,000 for funding citizens of Los Angeles County and not illegal aliens that committed serious crimes.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to your letter supporting keeping the ACA so that we don't lose $5 billion.
Well, I have the documents from California.
We'll be happy to accept them. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, good afternoon, supervisors. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Jasmine Diego, and I'm representing Ultimate Health Services, a federally qualified community health center, and we strongly support protecting our immigrant residents. Ultimate serves over 300 individuals and families in Southern California. We provide primary care to everyone, regardless of their immigration status. Protecting immigrant residents will allow them to receive health care and in turn help us in creating healthy communities and neighborhoods. We urge you to proceed in this motion, and thank you.
Okay, my name is Robert Pete from Make California Great Again. And only thing I have to say, this is a bunch of bull crap, because I ain't having nobody spend my tax dollars for some illegals. You cannot come to my neighborhood and sell in my neighborhood and do whatever you want. Now, I don't care what none of them say, because they ain't even supposed to be here. And in 10 days, we're going to find out the moment of truth. Now, as far as I live in the hood, I remember Janice Hahn last time, you said they were the valedictorians. Valedictorians, the top 1%. Hey, you don't live in my hoods. I know those candy houses they got in the projects are secretly heroin houses. They sell dope. Hey, nobody had more cocaine in the 80s than the Pisces. That's the ones, the illegals from it. They was the ones that sold black folks cocaine in order to sell. I got all the goods because all me, my cousin, my family, we live amongst them, okay? Oh, and in the jails, there's 4 times as many of them as black. Every time you go along, I'm going to tell all your stuff. On Olympic, you can go up in there and you can buy all them fake IDs. There's so much fakeness going on. I'm going to expose everything. And all these good citizens, I'm going to let you know. You're going to see about all of it. Make California great again. We're going to handle this. If you guys don't, I will. And if Mr. Trump would have lost, I'd have organized some brothers, and we put all your asses under some citizens' arrest who ain't legal. And then we get some lawyers to make sure.
You know what? This is not a conversation with the audience.
Well, I'm dealing with you now because I don't like.
You are not dealing with me. Okay, you want to testify?
I'm talking.
You testify forward to the board.
You're wasting my time because I don't like your attitude anyway. I like you all right. I like your attitude, but I don't like your decisions. Your daddy was great. Your brother was a one-termer, and if you don't want yourself, you be a one-termer. I love Catherine Barber. I like you. But just don't be with that bull crap. And that Uncle Tom nigga there, right there, you got to go.
You are through, sir. All right, everybody, calm down. Calm down. You know people yell to get you all riled up. That's why they yell. That's all they're about. So don't play into it. Thank you, sir, for your rant. Next speaker, please. We need a microphone on for this young woman. Thank you.
Is it on? Okay. Hi, my name is Shimeng Chir, and I'm a senior staff attorney with the National Immigration Law Center, and I'm also an immigrant who's now a naturalized citizen. So I'm here to thank the board for your continued support for immigrants and your efforts through the years to really protect and defend the rights of immigrants, including through this immigration protection motion, and also through your support for funding attorneys for immigrants who are facing the severe consequences of deportation. We, along with over 30 other legal, community, and labor unions, sent a letter to the LA Sheriff's Department with our recommendations for how they can fully disentangle from the business of deporting people. So I urge them to end ICE access to people in their custody, people in the LA jails, and also to decline to detain people for ICE in all circumstances. There was a report released by the UCLA School of Law Human Rights Clinic, which basically detailed the severe human, social, and economic costs of deportation, which is why I urge the county to completely disinvest and disentangle itself from any collaboration with federal immigration authorities. Thank you.
Before the next speaker speaks, would the following individuals please come forward? Alana Holt, Alberta Monroy, Andres Kwan, Andrew Reeder, Andy Baldenegro, Amando Carmona, Asma Ahmed, Betty Hung, Betty Ritama, Caitlin Bellis, Candace Camper, and Carlos Amador.
Floor is yours, sir.
My name is Mario Fuentes. Once a refugee that came to this country without documents and worked very hard in this country, and now I'm a full-fledged U.S. citizen. and now working with L.A. Voice, a faith-based, multi-ethnic, multiracial community organization representing over 60,000 families in L.A. County in all 5 districts. I want to remind ourselves that we are people of faith. This nation was created by people of faith. And the word says that when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
I would like to say that I am a citizen by choice. I became a citizen like 6 years ago, and I would like to mention that the agency you are creating, it won't be enough to help the amount of immigrants in LA County. It is necessary to recognize immigration consultants to help them with this process and have them to pay less than what they can pay to a lawyer to fill out simple applications that do not require too many federal laws to analyze, simple applications and not waste the city taxes, and help them in this process.
Next speaker. Andres Kwan. I'm a proud immigrant, American in waiting, and an attorney at the ACLU. Esteemed supervisors, as you know, we live in a historic moment. There's a critical juncture when we can either sit and let hate grow deeper roots and spread, or rather, we are called now to take a stand up against hate, against fear-mongering, to stand for love, for justice, to stand for the human dignity that is inherent in each and every one of us. Throughout our history, the way human beings have been able to oppress and brutalize and inflict extreme violence on groups of fellow human beings has been to make them, in their minds and in their broader narrative, subhuman, to seek to deny their inherent dignity. These days, and even here today, you've heard the hateful rhetoric. Illegals, kick them out, speak English. You know, all this is a way certain individuals have been trying to paint our fellow human beings as subhuman, devoid of dignity. No. You and we know that despite their being loud, they're on the wrong side of history. We need you to be on the right side of history, esteemed supervisors. The state, the country, the world is watching us. Trump's deportation machine is coming our way, and Trump will try to detain and deport as many immigrants and break up as many families in LA as he can, or rather as we allow him to get away with.
All right, sir.
If we do not take quick and bold action now, we will be complicit in Trump's deportation machine.
Thank you very much for your testimony.
I love you, brother.
Look, hold it. You're just going to have to exercise a little more restraint. I'm telling you. You can't taunt speakers without a consequence. Please proceed.
Hi, I'm Andrew Reeder, and I'm here to support myself and the American citizen. Look, this can be solved if those who are here illegally follow their fair process of legalizing themselves. Either by going back to their countries for a while, like the other international individuals I've come to know, get the stamp, and then arrive back to the USA. I've worked at ESL schools in the past, and I've seen hardworking students do this over and over and over, not just students. And it's a process you just follow. It's a fair process. If they do this, they come back here, legalize themselves, live a beautiful life. I just don't understand why we American citizens have to pay for an agency that will protect those who are here illegally. Plain and simple. The American taxpayers' money should be used for American citizens. I said this before, affordable housing, homeless, trash. We got a lot of trash in the city, educational facilities. For the American citizen, for us. We either have a country or we don't. We just want to follow the rules of this country. Trump's pretty bold, and he'll certainly bring back law and order. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Bellis, and I'm an attorney with Public Counsel. I'm here to express my strong support for this motion and to thank the supervisors for introducing it, and also to urge you to go further. We urge you to draw a strong and clear division between county resources and ICE immigration enforcement. LA County has no business enforcing immigration laws, no business in assisting in Trump's deportation machine. We also urge you to with the LA Justice Fund to ensure that representation is provided for all. This is a matter of basic fairness, and we should begin with those who are detained because they are currently experiencing the lowest rates of representation and benefit the most from having an attorney in their proceedings. But we believe that it's a matter of basic fairness that everyone should have an attorney when facing removal. Finally, we ask that you endorse the state's measures on this, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for your testimony. We'll take the next speakers, please.
Hello, I'm Betty Hung, the Policy Director at Asian Americans Advancing Justice Los Angeles. This is a very important week, being the Legacy Week for Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. King represented and embodied values of equality, justice, and inclusion. And that is exactly why it is so important that the board vote in favor of this motion today. My parents are immigrants from Taiwan, and I always say that my family is here today because of the civil rights movement led by African Americans. Racist immigration laws were overturned. And so we really acknowledge the leadership and legacy of African Americans and the need to not engage in divisive zero-sum thinking and tactics, but instead to stand up for inclusion and equality for all. We support addressing the dilemma and injustice of mass incarceration. We support the homeless, and we support immigrants and due process and fairness for all. As Dr. King said, hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. We urge you to support this motion.
Thank you for your testimony. We'll take the next speaker.
Good afternoon. My name is Esma Ahmed, and I am a Policy and Advocacy Coordinator at CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations. CARE is America's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization. We welcome the efforts of the Board of Supervisors and county officials to take concrete steps to protect the immigrant population from threats of mass deportation and racial and religious discrimination. Los Angeles has long been a leader in pro-immigrant policies that recognize the contributions of immigrant communities and promote public safety for all. It needs to continue to be a leader for the rest of the nation. Providing legal counsel to all immigrants, especially those in detention, is a basic safeguard that will protect the rights of our immigrant community members and prevent injustices. We also urge the Board of Supervisors to draw a clear line between federal immigration enforcement and local law enforcement. When local law enforcement enforces federal immigration laws, it reduces community trust and cooperation with law enforcement, thus jeopardizing the public safety of all residents. We implore you to protect and defend the rights of all residents of this county, regardless of their national origin, their immigration status, or their religious beliefs. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
My name is Betty Ratama with We the People Rising and America First Latinos. Legal assistance for illegals is one of the most insane statements I can think of. Hilda Solis is not here to face the people, but we went, her constituents, to her field office in Huntington Park. They locked the door and refused to talk to us. One of the so-called security people attacked one of our people and tried to take his phone away from him, stop him from taking pictures. You are all breaking the law. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. And any law that does not correlate with the Constitution is in itself an illegal law.
Thank you
like
for your,
the illegals.
Thank you for your testimony. We'll take the next speaker, please. Next speaker.
Well,
Brenes, and I'm the Executive Director of Inner City Struggle.